From Trinidad to the world, welcome to the hottest new platform on internet radio.
Add us to your favorites. Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
And keep your browser locked.
Keep your browser locked.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of
Caribbean Buzz Global Broadcasting.
You're logged on to Caribbean Buzz Radio.
Alabadei, alabadai. Mass illiteracy in this country affecting the youth in society. I'm talking to young people here in this land. I want you to give me your attention. You're raping, you're shooting, you're kidnapping. It's too much of movies all you're watching. Forgetting education, that is the key. To be successful in society. So as a concerned parent, this is my plan. To set the future generation. We just cannot continue in this way. We must invest in them children today. Because if we don't, we will have to pay. We must invest in them children, I say. Role models is a scarce commodity in this modern society. Single parent unemployment seems to be the norm. Children live unsupervised and I could go on. I saying failure is not an option. It's your choices and making good decisions. Building a stronger society. We need to have a stable economy. So as a concerned parent, this is my plan. To set the future generation. We just cannot continue in this way. We must invest in them children today. Teach them the watchwords of this nation and to live up to greater expectations. We need to encourage the youths of today and protect them from going astray. Teach them the importance of family values to persevere in whatever they do. The sky is the limit, that should be your goal. Put aside all the negative things of this world. Remember, you could be what you want to be. It's you who in charge of your destiny. So as a concerned parent, this is my plan. To save the future generation. We just cannot continue in this way. We must invest in them children today. As we pledge our lives to thee, living in peace, love and unity. Peer pressure is a difficult thing today. The friends that you keep could lead you astray. Being different, having challenges along the way. Determination will bring you success one day. Be responsible for your own actions and be able to rise to the occasion. Every action has its repercussions. We as parents have to lay down the foundation. So as a concerned parent, this is my plan. To set the future generation. We just cannot continue in this way. Don't allow bad influence to lead you astray. And may God bless our nation as we move in this positive direction. The plight of violence in society was it the breakdown in morality. Peace, justice, freedom and equality has vanished from the community. Your interactions have a part to play. Teamwork will help you along the way. To bring about the change that I want to see is an effort depending on you and me. So as a concerned parent, this is my plan. To save the future generation. Stand firm and defend this blessed country. You are the pillars of society. Successfully we claim the victory. With boundless faith in our destiny. Palamade, Palamadai. Ha!
You're not on to Caribbean Pulse Radio.
Crank the volume.
When the BB's music was cranking up, and the night was set on fire. Yes, the people's music, sweet calypso.
Well, greetings and good night, everyone, and welcome to the series. Let's talk Calypso with the man himself, Dr. George Maraj, and already on the inside with me. On the button, it is 8:15 in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, the music in the background. Yes, where Calypso gone? But the big topic tonight is we talking Calypso. So, guys, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the studio of Caribbean Pulse. Remember, we're here to interact, exchange ideas, and make it happen. Good night to Mr. E.S.D. Myers, Mr. George Maraj, and somebody else was on the call from already. Welcome, guys. What's up?
I'm looking for calypso, I cannot see.
All right, I'm all right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Bravo.
Good night, sir.
Yes, another Wednesday. We're talking Calypso tonight.
Correct is right.
Well, it starts. Thank you very much for allowing me this space to relate to you some my Calypso, the Calypso art form, which you know is very, very important to us and a very colorful art form. The topic I want to drop on tonight for everybody is an art form worth preserving. It's our art form, and it's not being exposed enough in Trinidad and Tobago, where is the home of Calypso. I just would like to let you know a little bit about how important Calypso should be or was in the 50s and 60s in the United States. Right? So, Brother Mark, shall we start?
Yes, well, we're inside. We're already inside, and the floor is yours. As we propose, you know, we want to talk so much, so we want to waste no time. Guys, remember, when you're not making your contribution or you're not speaking, please mute your microphone on your system, so that we would not get any background noise coming back. We want the listeners to hear clearly what we have been promoting and what we are trying to promote as moving forward. So thank you guys so much for your cooperation. So Mr. Maraj, what's up, brother? What's going on at your neck of the woods?
Well, you know, in Toronto here, we have a lot of Calypsos, a lot of Calypso shows coming up. We promote Calypso any way we could. I got my little Calypso band called Crab and Callaloo. We already have 11 gigs for the summer, playing and promoting the vintage Calypso, the Calypso competition with the organization for Calypso Arts coming up over here too. So we into the Calypso, you know, and the Caribana is coming up as well. So we have a lot of activities for the summer. But tonight, I just would like to bring to the public some of the important stuff of the 50s and 60s, or actually the late 56 to mid 1957. The Trinidad music was everywhere, not only on the hit parade, but on the dance floor, TV, in movie theater, and magazines. Let me see. In college and high school glee clubs, they were all over the place. There were Calypso card games, Calypso clothing lines, and children's toys, all under this name of Calypso. Calypso was at the center of the commercials and comedy routines, news reports, and detective novels. We had all that going on with our Calypso in 50s and 60s in the United States. Nightclubs across the country hastily tacked up fishnets and fish farm fronts and made themselves into Calypso rooms. Stingers wore straw hats and tattered trousers and affected mock West Indian accents. And it was Harry Belafonte, not Elvis Presley, who with his 1956 album Calypso was the first million selling LP in the history of the recording industry. Imagine that. We have that history. No wonder reporters and marketers joined the trade journals in declaring Calypso craze. That's when the 56, 57 thing. So we could look and see that Calypso was a hot topic in the States, especially New York, Miami, Atlanta, its places, even here in Toronto with Lord Caressa, with his own radio show in 1958 on CBC Radio. He had his own Calypso show. Imagine comic books, and Sparrow had a comic book. I have a copy of it called Sparrow, with a lot of the history of Sparrow in a comic book area. But what can I say again? You know, and just trying to show you guys how important it was. Fred Astaire, the great dancer, had a dance company and a dance class called Calypso dancing. Imagine that. You know. So the craze for Calypso was sung by a lot of other people. For instance, well, we know about Harry Belafonte. We know about Irvin Burgee, who, Bajan background, composed over 50 or 60 calypsos, Jumping the Line, Deo, and stuff like that, all Burgee. Then there was the great Maya Angelou, Marguerite Johnson. She went on, she was known as Miss Calypso, and sang songs like Ron Joe, Donkey City, Shame and Scandal, Peas and Rice. That was the great Maya Angelou, the author, songwriter, poet, historian, playwright, dancer, and everything else. Then there was Chubby Checker from Philadelphia, who did the twist with two limbo songs, or limbo rock, let's limbo some more, all in a calypso styling. Robert Mitchum, and the famous actor, he did a full album on calypsos with the big song being Gina and Dinah. And then the second one was Amaluka Bubri. He made a movie in 1956 which most of us would know, called Fire Down Below, and those songs were featured in it. Country and Western singer Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins in 1964 recorded a song, and a calypso called Island Woman, and songs included Yellowbird and the Banana Boat song. Another country and western singer, Marty Robbins, in 64, he had 5 calypsos on his Columbia recorded album. Mango Song, Calypso Girl from Spain, from Town, and Island Woman. And there were quite another people, which I will go through at some other time, that sang calypsos. But at this point, let me throw it out to the audience. So, questions, comments on the early part of my song tonight, of my talk tonight. Anybody out there?
Go right ahead, Mr. March.
Right. No, I'm just asking for any comments and any questions.
Oh, you asked right. Well, you made mention of the years and so on, and some Calypsonians who had radio programs and all of that. But that's news to me, because the way Calypso is identified at this point in time, we looking at what you just mentioned, we should have been way ahead in the musical industry. And of course, if it wasn't for your dedication, a lot of listeners, let me say good night to all the listeners as well who already logged on, whom are abroad, Trinidad and Tobago, out there on your neck of the woods, Toronto, and by extension, the entire globe. So what you all are experiencing is history that is documented, and it is in the archive. It is in the possession of Mr. Maharaj as well, in his compilation. And our intention on my neck of the woods here in Trinidad and Tobago is partnering with Mr. Maharaj to establish a Calypso museum and to let Calypso be known to the wider community, and by extension the schools and the universities. And this university, the museums that we are proposing, I think that it is creating a lot of interest home and abroad, and we are appealing to every Trinidadian and Tobagonians to come together. Let us come together and unite and work together as a team to really establish this Calypso Museum. So we are here partnering with Dr. George Maharaj. We already gave him the doctorate. I think that the way things are going these days, we have authority to do that. That is a handle that he well deserves. And I started it, and I know when I say I am in favor of that handle, Dr. Maharaj, based on what he has to present to us and to the world in the world's largest collection of Calypso, and by extension the history. And as you heard earlier on, he made mention of Harry Belafonte, and I just want to ask you to reiterate that that achievement for the listeners, Dr. Maharaj.
Well, Harry Belafonte record in 1956 called Calypso was the first record to ever sell 1 million copies. First record in any genre of music. First, LP in the history of recorded industry. That a Calypso album was so a Calypso album sold 1 million copies. First one, 1956.
I wasn't born yet. In 1956, Calypso was already out there selling in the millions, and that's US dollars we're talking about, not so?
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's a huge one for Calypso. I think that it is really underrated at this point in time. We need to do something. We need to do something urgently. We need to do something very prominent, and to establish this information. So with your with your compilation and the history that you has,
Yeah.
do you know of any other Calypsonians who made Calypso proud in such a magnitude after that?
Well, there are quite a lot of people, and I started to mention some of them. I think the next most famous one would be Louis Farrakhan, the great Louis Farrakhan, Louis Eugene Walcott, the Nation of Islam boss. His father was Jamaican and his mother was from St. Kitts, and he had quite a lot of records, Calypso records. He used to be called the Charmer. He used to be called first. He was called Calypso Jean, then Calypso Louis, and finally the Charmer.
Okay.
And he sang and recorded a lot of calypsos as well. Then there was the great Nat King Cole, who sang two songs in the 60s called Calypso Blues when rock and roll came to Trinidad. And these are big men. And then Louis Armstrong, everybody know Louis Armstrong, recorded a calypso called High Society Calypso in 1950. And that was the theme of a movie. So there are quite a lot of other people who famously sung calypsos and recorded calypsos. But those are just some of them. And who know what happened after that? Just fell apart.
My main reason for asking is that selling Calypso, as you mentioned, in the millions. Did we have anybody else?
Well, that information I do not know. I would say it merged into soca at that time, and that sold millions, I guess. It heard hot, 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 and what's the other one? Well, quite a few soca songs, but I don't know. I guess it's for the promoters, whoever promoting it. It would. Yeah, Belafonte had great promoters, I guess.
Okay, so because I'm trying to get some of those music so that we can take a little listen, right? So, but we're chatting by the meantime. Good night, Sister Francisca Lewis. Thanks for joining us. And again, we are here. Yeah, we are here discussing. We are on the segment Let's Talk Calypso with the Honorable George Maraj. So we recognizing you because we started already and we on the program. So welcome again. Thanks for joining. Right. So where we was at, we were questioning the magnitude. Hey, and good night, brother John, Al Ishmael, John Williams. What's up, sir? Good night. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining the podcast.
A pleasant good night. A pleasant good night.
Nice, man. Welcome to the program. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining, and we kindly asking you when you're not making a contribution, please mute your microphone on your cellular phone. Right? Thank you so much. Yes. So again tonight we talking and we have a lot of stuff. We have the Louis Farrakhan issue. We have Robert Mitchum. We have Nat King Cole, Louis Armstrong, Hazel Scott, and a whole bunch of indigenous people who participated and propelled Calypso from yesteryears. So we just asking Mr. Maraj to briefly reiterate what he made mention of as regards to these guys earlier on before you all came on the broadcast.
Well, there were just I was just mentioning some of the people from North America actually who thought it was a good art form to put their reputation behind to record a song or two, and these are big names like Dizzy Gillespie was one who sang who produced that's a famous jazz musician, Jambo Carib, right? Which he incorporated a singer from Barbados. Then there was Shirley Bassey, who acted in some of the James Bond movies, sang Deo. James Last, he had the Matilda, Barry White. We all know Barry White, who sang Lord Invaders, Rum and Coca-Cola. Chuck Berry, he also sang, Herbie Mann, famous flutist and band leader. He had one called Calypso John. Then there was Billy Ocean that we know had one called Calypso Crazy. And I could go on and on and on. Then there was Sir Lancelot, Trinidad born Sir Lancelot. He was very popular by introducing calypsos to North America. Toured with the Lionel Belasco band in 1941. I went on to take part in a lot of Hollywood movies. For instance, he acted in a movie called Two Yanks in Trinidad in 1942. I worked with a zombie in 1943. To Have or Have Not in 1944, which also starred Humphrey Bogart. Happy Go Lucky in 1943, and Brute Force in 1947. Sir Lancelot made several radio commercials in the U.S. during the 50s. In 1958, Sir Lancelot's last film appearance was in a movie called The Buccaneer. He was very, very, very popular, and he was from, I believe, somewhere north in Trinidad. Lancelot Pinard was his name. He's one of this. And then there was Lord Woodbine, who was from Laventille, who he organized a tour with the Beatles. And that was, and he allowed the Beatles to rehearse at his place in Liverpool in 1959, and also toured with the Silver Beatles at the time to Hamburg in 1960. So we have a lot of history out there that's recorded. Now I'm sure there are much more that people can tell me about some of the people over there who sang calypsos, and there were calypsos in many movies around, but to get them exposed, let it be known, has to be done with the promoters, the publicity people. But I'm just bringing you the stuff that I discovered. And don't forget, I am not really a historian as such. I'm just a researcher and finding stuff all over the place about calypso. Yes. So any other questions about that?
Guys, Mr. Mars asking you if you have any question as regards to what he just made mention of. Any questions?
Well, there's a history and plenty information there and so on. Okay, that's it. Thanks very much. Let's move on.
Is that Drago?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Right, Ainsley. Yeah, well, you know how we do it. I try to give people aspects of how important calypso is.
Yeah.
It's towards, and well, somebody got to do it. I would say around the world there are probably about less than 5 people who doing what I'm doing. One is our good friend from Alaska, Ray Funk. Who does great work at Calypso, Mass and Pan, and the cultural history of Trinidad and Tobago. But we need to have this documented in Trinidad somewhere. Whether it is or not, I don't know. I don't live there. Hey, you guys should know.
So, guys, when we come back, we will take a listen of something from Nat King Cole from yesteryears. Let's hear what went down at that point in time.
It's on tonight. Let's talk Calypso. Join the conversation on www.caribbeanpulse.net with our special guest, George D. Mirage, Calypso historian, author, researcher, and a man who knows about Calypso. Your host would be Morris Edwards, aka Brother Mark. Tune in tonight, Wednesday the 20th of March, 8:15 p.m. on www.caribbeanpulse.net. And let's talk Calypso.
Yes, guys. So one thing we have to remind you that this program will be aired every Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. I will need to make that adjustment on the advertisement that was just played. So we're gonna take something and take a listen to Nat King Cole.
Wow, 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 wow. Sitting by the ocean, me how she feels so sad. Sitting by the ocean, me how she feels so sad. Don't got the money to take me back to Trinidad. Fine Calypso woman, she cooked me shrimp and rice. Fine Calypso woman, she cooked me shrimp and rice. These Yankee hot dogs don't treat me stomach very nice. In Trinidad, $1 buy papaya juice, banana pie, 6 coconut, 1 female goat, and plenty fish to fill the boat. 1 bushel bread, 1 barrel of wine, and all the town she comes to dine. But here is bad, $1 buy, cup of coffee, ham on rye. Me throat she sick from necktie, me feet she hurt from shoes, me pocket full of empty, I got Calypso blues. Girls give me big scare. Is black the root, is blondie hair. Her eyelash falls, her face is paint, and pads are wetty. Girl, she ain't. She jitterbug when she should waltz. I even think her name is false. But Calypso girl is good a lot. Is what you see, is what she got. Sitting by the ocean, me how she feels so sad. Don't got the money to take me back to Trinidad. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow.
And that guy, that was Nat King Cole doing Calypso Blues.
I wasn't hearing that up playing whoever know the song, but know what was going. But it was really coming across without I didn't understand what's going on.
Well, yeah, I had to lower the volume here because the muting of the mic bringing back some unwanted noise back into the broadcast. So thanks for muting your mics. Nice. I see that most of the mics is muted except in the presenter. So guys, that was the man Nat King Cole doing something from way back when. The only person on the Coliseum to say what year that song was sung is the man himself, Mr. Maraj.
All right. Let's see what anybody else says. No?
Well, Well, I wouldn't say what I seen. I will say what I heard. I heard a drum and Nat King Cole just singing, and that is calypso in the raw, in the most purest form because it came across. Okay, you think I should play a little piece of it because Merle says she wasn't hearing it properly. So let's try to listen it again.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Sitting by the ocean, me how she feels so sad. Sitting by the ocean, me how she feels so sad. Don't got the money to take me back to Trinidad. Fine Calypso woman, she cooked me shrimp and rice. Fine Calypso woman, she cooked me shrimp and rice. These Yankee hot dogs don't treat me stomach very nice. In Trinidad, $1 buy papaya juice.
So that's Calypso Blues by Nat King Cole. Could you believe that, guys? Are the radio stations today playing this stuff? Are we hearing these music from the archives on Trinidad and Tobago? The mainstream medias. Are we hearing these kind of stuff from these great guys? I mean, Nat King Cole is a huge one, and what? So that's my take. The floor is open, guys. You all can ask Mr. Maraj anything else before we move into the other segment, which we'll be moving back to discuss.
Brother Mark.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ali Shmel here. Dr. Maraj.
Yes, sir.
Pleasant good night, and pleasant good night to everyone on air tonight. I listen to. No, I'm a fan of Chuck Berry.
Right.
I'm a great fan of Chuck Berry, and I listen to Havana Moon. I listened to Havana Moon many times, and somehow I seem to hear Calypso in Havana Moon. Honestly, somehow I seem to hear Calypso, the Calypso beat in Havana Moon, even though it is termed a Calypso. What do you think about that?
Well, at that time in the States, maybe someone promoted a song as Havana Moon, maybe put a bit of the Brazilian beat in it. Maybe just to to attract the tourists. I don't know, but I would say it could be passed as a calypso. At that time, it would be.
Well, I agree with you when you made mention of those people who heard the music and experimented on it, accepting it as a music form, as a song form that they could have done something with. And the only people to really do calypso in the truest form is a Trinidadian. So we have to always bear that in mind. Anybody else could try to sing a calypso, but it's only a Trinidadian or a Tobagonian. I just trying to say something, right? So only bear with me. Yes, so guys,
Right, excuse brother Mark, Mr. Maran. I find like what I was getting on in that whole tune, it has something like a jazz beat within it. There's something with a jazz mix inside it.
Yeah, well, the calypso craze, yes, nobody can really say it is really what we consider a true calypso. Maybe, as Chobda said once, that brandy mixed with water. Right? He said, but it still is a contribution to the art form that he did sing that Havana Moon with, you know, a Cuban influence in it. And yes, and jazz as well. Anything else on that? I could go on and give you some more facts on how Calypso was. Did you know that they recorded the Calypsos in Italian too, by one of their top singers called Lou Monte, Monte, there's Monte, with a song called Calypso Italiano. You could probably find that one there too, Brother Mark. Lou Monte, Calypso Italiano. Okay, you could probably find that. And then Marvin Gaye did a cover version of the song we just played called Calypso Blues. That was done by Marvin Gaye in the 80s.
I have something here from Louis Farrakhan by the Ugly Woman. I don't know if you know this one. Let's hear it.
Never make a living a king's life, never make a pretty woman your wife. If you want to be happy living a king's life, never make a pretty woman your wife. Now all you have to do is just what I say, and then you will be jolly, merry and gay. Therefore from a logical point of view, you better marry a woman uglier than you. From a logical point of view, always marry a woman uglier than you. A pretty woman make her husband look small, and very often cause his downfall. Soon as she married there and then she start to do the things that will break your heart. And when you think that she's belonging to you, she's calling somebody else to do. Man, from a logical point of view, you better marry a woman uglier than you. From a logical point of view, always marry a woman uglier than you. But if you make an ugly woman your wife, you can be sure you'll be happy in all your life. She will never do things in a funny way to allow the neighbor have the thing to say. She wouldn't disregard her husband at all by exhibiting herself to Peter and Paul. Man, from a logical point of view, you better marry a woman uglier than you. From a logical point of view, always marry a woman uglier than you. To make you comfortable in mine. At night when you lie down in your cozy bed, she will cook, caress you and scratch your head. Another minute in the night she will leave you alone. It seems she wants to melt the fat from your bone. Man, from a logical point of view, you better marry a woman uglier than you. From a logical point of view, always marry a woman uglier than you. It matters not your friends say that you have no taste. Marry an ugly woman about disgrace. One who is cute looking, barbarous and rough, with a skin like alligator, bumpy and tough. Pigeon toed, polite, her mouth in her eye. She got two lips that look like a big bow tie. Boy, from a logical point of view, you better marry a woman uglier than you. From a logical point of view, always marry a woman uglier than you.
We're looking at is Calypso favorite from 1953 to 1954. Never marry a woman uglier than you. And I would say that is Calypso. Calypso.
Yeah. It's a remake of the Roaring Lion song.
Yes, 1953 to 54, you know, guys. 1953. I wasn't born yet.
Well, you know, this is what the research is. You have to go way back and find out how it was popular, so popular for that.
And who sang that tune?
That version was sung by Louis Farrakhan, the Charmer, the Nation of Islam leader.
Yes, Louis Farrakhan. That's correct. Yes, and it was originally done by the Roaring Lion.
That's right.
Oh, so here we go, guys. I did that purposely because we promised that on the program we will be playing some music. We'll be giving out the information as to what year, who sang the song, and at the end of the program, we will just do a refresher as to ask the listeners to give us the correct information that you took note of, because this is our educational aspect of the program. So we're moving on to discuss further with the vision for the Calypso Museum that we are partnering with Mr. Maraj from this neck of the woods, Trinidad and Tobago, to establish a project like that on behalf of the Calypsonians that past, that still is and is to come. Because listening to these songs from 1953 to what we will play for Calypso in 2024, I don't know who will be in favor of which of the style, or with the advancement and the technology that came in this last couple of years. And hey, let me say good night to Mr. Anthony Calendar, man, Tall Blacks, man. Welcome to the broadcast, my brother, and we are live on Let's Talk Calypso. How are you today?
Yeah, good evening, everyone, Brother Maraj. Yes, everyone, people, everyone. But one thing, I didn't know that was Farrakhan. You had a nice voice, boy. Oh, God,
Yeah. He a top class Calypsonian at that time in the 50s, 40s, and 50s, man. It was very good.
Well, I will have to challenge him because I followed him a lot on this last meeting where he's championing the cause for that political platform that he has there on the social media, that he championing the cause for black liberation struggle, man. Louis Farrakhan, I never know he was a serious Calypsonian as well, so we need to partner with this guy and try to get him come along and do a show. Yes, he's a powerful guy.
He is very powerful, as you say.
Very.
Can't get through. They contacted me once for some Calypsos by him, and the way they spoke, that I have to send it.
Yeah.
Have to.
Of course, he's a powerful guy.
He has passed through all these barriers to get hold of him. So good luck if you could get him. He tried to extempo once with someone in the crowd, and
yes, these are the guys that I want to have discussions with as regards to our museum, because this contribution must not be going down in the way that it is going. These guys who contributed towards the development of Calypso at a global level like this will bring so much dexterity to the art form, and it will create new hope for upcoming artists. It will create so much love in the international community. And just imagine having Louis Farrakhan contributions in our wall or hall of fame, in our museum that we are talking, what that can bring to Calypso in general. Can you imagine?
Yeah. You know, it's important that museum gets established as soon as possible. And I will help in any way I could to get it up, and I'm sure there are people around that will help to get it up. Because how many people did not know that Louis Farrakhan was called the Charmer?
The Charmer, that's a sobriquet.
That's right.
The Chama. Yes, I seen it. Yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah, yeah.
It was the third. That was his third sobriquet. First one was called Calypso Louis, as his first name, Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Then the second name was Calypso Jean, as Eugene. His second name was Eugene. So it was Calypso Jean, then Calypso Louis, and finally he settled with the Chama.
Okay. I also seen that he had done some remix with Brown Skin Gal.
Yeah. But he sang a lot of calypsos by Tiger and Lion, and some of these guys. These were Houdini. He did some too.
We need to get it. Hey, good night to Mr. Sheldon Nugget boy. Good night and welcome to the program. Let's Talk Calypso, sir. How are you today?
Yeah, man. Abiding under the shadows of the Most High God. So
blessings and favor, man. Blessings and favor and prosperity to you at your neck of the woods, and we wishing you safety as well. So it's blessing, favor, safety, prosperity, good health, and everything else now, man. Thanks for joining the program, and we having a nice chit chat here with Mr. George, and we exploring music from the 50s. As way as 1953.
I just would like to easily just a branch off for a few minutes. I just want to ask the listeners out there. There were 5 husband and wife Calypso duos in Trinidad. Can you name them? 5. Where a husband and wife, the lady, sang calypsos together. I know Carl and Carol Jacobs is one. You know anybody else?
I know of Prince, the Prince. Calypso
Did
Prince.
they sing together though?
Oh no.
Blakey and Princess. Blakey and Princess.
They were both Calypsonians, but they did not sing together.
Like duets?
Duets.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Blakey and Princess.
Who?
Blakey and I think Calypso Princess in the 70s. She wasn't a singer.
Yeah, the husband and wife, they were singers. They were Calypsonians individually.
No, but you say,
sing together, as far as I know.
But the question is you ask, who never sang duet together, you say, or sang duet together?
Who sang duet together?
Oh, Calypsonians, husband and wife?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
The first one that I have recorded, and I don't know how many, was Lord and Lady Ivory.
Correct.
Right. Remember that? They're from the 30s. Then there was somebody called Lord and Lady Sugar. Again, this is history. Lord Creator and Norma. Lord Creator, I can with Patrick, who went to Jamaica. He sang with Norma. Carl and Carol Jacobs. And we have one more. Any guesses?
Bonzi and Fionn? Soca is Calypso.
And I soca, which is all right. You're close. But why I picked this question? You guys are very aware of the male singer of this calypso duet.
So was it Ella Andel and what do you call them? Black Stallion?
Did he sing with Ella Andel or he sang with Twiggy?
Ella Andel. Yeah, but there wasn't husband and wife.
No, there wasn't husband and wife.
Well, they do a duet.
Ralph Shorty and his the late Ralph Shorty and his wife.
Claudette?
Yeah.
as well.
Okay, but I want to shock you guys with this one.
Mm-hmm.
How about El Drago and Hyacinth?
Oi.
That's why I want.
A fingernail clap.
Hi J boy.
A fingernail clap.
Hi J. Yes. But Myers and Hi J boy. But
that's important that we recognize Drago's contribution and his wife as well.
Yes.
For singing together.
Yes.
That's why I brought the question back.
The Calypso team. But I wanted to verify with you, Mr. Mara, the Lord and Lady Sugar you mentioned of is you have the I know that Lady Sugar. I know a Lady Sugar, she's still alive. I know Lord Sugar passed away. They live down at my neck of the woods, Palo Seco.
Right, his name was Ambrose Bruce.
Ah, well, that's the same people we're talking about here, man. That's Ainsley Myers could bear me out on that, as well as a family to Mr. Myers.
And Sugar name was Beryl Myers.
Beryl Myers, yes, she's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's wow.
That's where church comes in, and you have to recognize these people. That's why the museum is so important for the history of our history of Calypsonians and the Calypsos they sang. You know, let me ask Tall Black, how many Calypsos you compose? About 35, 50 to 50?
Kelly, answer your question, Mr. Calendar. Right, so let us send some shout out now to Mr. Ainsley Myers and Hi J for being documented in history in our museum. This is what it is. It is what it is. And also Lord and Lady Sugar, people that I know that I never in my wildest dream was expecting that their name would have been in that compilation. Recognizing you guys from my community to the international listeners and to everyone that know Lord and Lady Sugar and the Myers family from Palo Seco. Yes, we inside. So we just teasing your mind, and we kind of make anything lively. I don't know if Mr. Myers would like to say anything at this point in time, knowing that he's now recognized in the Guinness Book of Records.
Well, I was surprised to know that Mr. Maraj had that information, because long time I am singing, but never been recognized. When he called my neighbor, this man really good.
Yeah.
And I like to tell him, and as I am here right now, I like to tell him there's a next avenue that we had. We were the first person to sing with background music. In those days, had the cassettes. Right. He didn't come out yet, and the other guys didn't want to sing without a band. They always wanted a band, and I went to sing one night, and I remember singing. Santa was in Marabella, and I went to hear him. So while I looking at Santa now, he looking worried. He said, "Give me a pull out here, give me." I say, "What happened?" He said to me that the keyboard man ain't come, and he's a man we have to sing, and he's looking out frantically, and time going and so on. So when I saw that now, I said, let me put my music on cassette. I just put the background music alone on the cassette, and I had a little system. I used to carry it down and put it on, and with the background music, the first person I went by to do that, to start off, that was by Saunders. So when I went by Saunders now and I tell him, look, I want to do, he say, you think I could do that? I said, how you mean? And you play guitar? I said, just put the guitar track on the CD, not the CD, the cassette. We had cassette in those days.
Right.
And when you put that, now I'll just play it on my thing, so that In those days, I used to sing play the guitar. I thought it was kind of laid back. I wanted her to come front instead of singing in the back with the guitar. So we put the track on the cassette and we played. Man, well, I know Calendar could bear me out on that because he heard many times when we sang and so on, and other people could bear me out on that. And that is how he came out.
Oh, yes.
Then
Oh,
to the other thing was when the CD came out, right when the CD came out, I was very interested. And the first man I heard with the CD was David Rudder.
Right.
He came out with the CD first. And I told Hayo, I said, look, we had to get on CD. And I remember going up by a DJ up in Caxton Bay and telling him that I want to put this music from the cassette onto the CD. I said, you could do that? He said, yeah, man. But in those days, it take a long, long time to do it and so on. And he did it. And that's how we branched off on the CD, So plenty of people really don't know that history. Because in those days, everybody wanted to hear a band behind them.
Yes, yes.
So we were the first to come out with that and thing. And what is ironic is that in those days, the guys say that they're not singing without a band. You must have a band. And now today, look at what happening. Everybody singing with the music and thing on CD. So you see, so that's a part of the history that many people in San Fernando and other places didn't know about us and so on. So we were the first to come out with that.
And there's one more thing.
Yeah.
I came out with Natural and Angie and Nobby 93 with the cassette too, You know what I mean? We used to bounce up on the road, right?
You came out. Many people came out after, after that. Many people came out, But we were the first. Because when Saunders hear that, he said, wait now, you think I could do it? I say, yes. And we had a djembe, we had a guitar, and somebody was playing the djembe, one of those African drums.
Right.
Because we didn't have the bass and things and so on. So that's how we come out, And then a day I went by Saunders and he said, hey, I got a drum, You have a drum machine. I say, you get a machine? He said, yes, I could add up the thing. And we kind of, upgrade ourselves and so on. So that is it. So, well, today now, we go on from the CD and we go on to flash drive now. Right? So that's how the thing happens with San Fernando here.
Those
so I'm
days,
glad that Mr. Mahar coming with that, man. So,
Yeah.
Those days you used to rule the pub. Yes. Those days you all used to rule the pubs, boy.
Yeah. Arabella and so on and things.
You used to rule the pubs.
Yeah. Remember those days, yeah.
You used to rule the pubs. Nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
It could still be so, guys. It could still be so. Because you guys have talent. And we try over here with this little band I have, and everybody like it. Imagine me singing a Calypso too. Singing but you can't play Mass and Freight Powder, so you have to.
True.
Yes.
Well, we're moving in a correct direction. I think that Mr. Myers gets some fresh energy to continue to work in the music industry, because I don't know how many of the listeners and the people on the Coliseum know that Mr. Myers played a very, very critical role in the development of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians organization when it comes to the finances. And I could boast and I could brag and I could talk all night about this guy's contribution. And I think that these are the guys need to be recognized, need to be honored, need to be, I mean, hats off to these guys because money is the most critical thing in any organization. And every meeting that I go to in my zone, and Mr. Myers present his financial report as regards to accounting for how monies was spent and what, who, and where it went. That guy had it documented. So tonight, I want to appoint him as the interim finance committee director to the museum that we're talking about here. And I know that by I giving him that portfolio, I am asking you guys for your vote on such a move.
Oh, I was, Drago would know, I was around Showcase in 94 to 98, so I know he was a serious Monica man here making joke, because I was the assistant on Chinaku, so I know Drago, he was a serious, how would I say, Monica, you mean money, serious, right? So I was a part of the, of the finance also. Not the treasurer. I was the assistant treasurer.
Very good.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good. Very
Yeah.
good.
You know, listening to.
Well, I must say, yes, I agree with you. Remember Mr. Michael Legaton, right? He took over as president. I can't remember the years, the early years there. And he asked me if I'll go up for position of assistant treasurer in Port of Spain and so on. And I said, okay, that was around 2005. You know. That was during the time when they had the little problem with some people. You will know about that. Yeah, you will know about that, Brother Mark. And we had, for 7 years, because we had a court case. Remember them days?
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah, there had a court
Definitely,
case
yes.
going on there. Yeah, and 7 years, stayed there and so on. So he asked me if I said, yes, no problem with that, you know. So I had a stint in Port of Spain too. And Mr. Cox was the treasurer. But what happened, Mr. Cox was involved working in finance in Port of Spain. So he was mostly out of the office, but used to conduct things. So I was in the office to deal with certain aspects and so on. And I must say I learned a lot up there because I was involved with the auditors, because they really, helped me and trained me in that aspect, you know. I didn't have a certificate, but they taught me the ways how to operate and what to do and so on and so on. And but you know, being part of the treasury department, you know, you had in certain areas you had limited say because remember you have people over you, and you know you're doing the correct thing, you know, and sometimes they want to sway you to do things that's not significant. The practice, for instance, I remember well, I used to work in Port Spain too, as a chief draftsman in Ministry of Works. And I remember they send down a fellow called Happy. I don't know if you all know Happy.
Yeah, from Tobago? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Happy Pappy. Oh, yes. Yeah, the
Yes,
record.
Happy Pappy. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
So
You
they
know,
sent him down now. Well, Penguin was he was the
chairman then.
president at that time, yeah. And
Yeah.
Mr. Lusan, yeah. They sent him down with a check by the Ministry of Works for me to sign. A blank check, you. I said, well, look, I can't sign a blank check. How do you do that? You must have something on it. And you know, well, when you don't toe the line, sometimes people get vexed with you. But I kept up to my, integrity. And you know, they were kind of annoyed and so on. So when you're in this thing, you know, sometimes you get unpopular. You know, and I didn't used to talk much. I was kind of reserved because in this thing now, you don't know, who is your friend, you don't know who trying to set you up and so on. So I was very, very quiet in those days, but I used to do the work. And, you know, although it had people who were vexed that were not going the line, when they had awards, I got an award for doing the work, as a assistant treasurer in Forest Bay. You have the award, I have it home,
Right, very good, very good, very
For
good.
towing
Well
the line and
deserved,
so on,
well deserved.
Yeah, so that is next thing that, people, didn't know that, and so on. But had some things that, because I remember I told you, yes, I was there, but I had somebody over me, guys, Mr. Cox and so on. And sometimes, the man will go to the bank and negotiate and so on and so on and so on and so on. But some of the things was above my head when I say so, because remember I was just the assistant treasurer. So it has some things that will happen there that are unknown to me. And then eventually we had some discrepancies and so on, So just saying that to add a little thing to the situation or the history of the thing.
Very good, very good, very good.
In 2013, I remember when I was there, we made a substantial amount of money down in Skinner Park, about $2.8 million in Skinner Park and so on. But that is the year now that they vote me out. And so on. So I was 2013, I came off this situation there.
I was there too. I was there too.
Yeah. And that
vote
was, came in and so on. So, however, in 2014, if you check the history, in 2013, we make 2.8 million. Check how much money we make in 2014 after I left.
No.
Yeah.
That's there.
So just a brief, give me what's used to happen and so on.
Let me squeeze in a little all-purpose there. Those days, the secretary was the late Masimba, right? And I could remember, because, I used to work Skinner's Park for semi-final. But I mean, I wouldn't say what used to go on, the same long hair, who brought it at the blank check. He and Masimba were finger in the ring, but I mean, I wouldn't say no more. So that's why they had to get you out of it.
Wow.
Yeah, because all the time I was around heavy. So I mean, there's a history about that. But as you say, money is a nice thing, but I always say there's a but. There's a but.
So guys, this is what it is. We live on the Let's Talk Calypso segment with Dr. George Maraj, and we are partnering with Mr. Maraj to establish the Calypso Museum that would represent Trinidad and Tobago's indigenous music. And to the listeners out there, home and abroad, internationally, wherever you are, we just helping you to make up your mind to donate to this project, because we are surrounded with quite a number of competent people who has experience in managing finances. So we need as much finance as possible coming in as donations, as contributions from you all. So we need to set things up. I also want to recognize the Birds Calypso 10 treasurer, Ms. Francois, who has and continue to do a very, very transparent job in the finance department in the Birds Calypso tent for quite a number of years. She is here as well. So we has Mr. Myers again as a professional draftsman, and I really want to utilize all the talent of the Calypsonians to establish this Calypso Museum. Let us show the world, at least Louis Armstrong and Louis Farrakhan and all of these guys paved the way. They were not Calypsonians, but they sold Calypso in the millions, in the earlies. And now we have a gentleman with the with a huge collection of Calypso archives, artifacts, and you name it, he has it. And we has a golden opportunity to partner with him to establish this Calypso Museum to live as a, as a monument, as what you want to describe it, for the rest of the world, so that the Calypsonians, the younger ones to come, they will not go through what we went through. That establishment will generate so much income and financial opportunities for the young and upcoming Calypsonians. Like I had proposed on my manifesto when I contested the last election that I went, I proposed that the Calypso Monarch, when we saw the trend where a lot of young persons were winning the Monarch competition and the monies that they were getting, it seems to be going over the head, I was going to introduce a full musical scholarship for the Calypso Monarch in moving forward, so that we could have sent that young person to one of the most recognized musical university in the world to continue to study the music, and at least that would have been a foot to get music into the Grammy Awards. But if we continue to just come and say, give out $1 million or $500,000 to a Calypsonian, a young person and a vehicle, and as they go down the road, the vehicle crash, and in 2 years' time, the money disappear, what investment are we looking at for the development of Calypso? So I know that I have a lot of assistants on this consortium. My brother Sheldon Nugget, he has a wide experience in also hosting programs and so on, and I want to partner with him to host the rest of the show for the night. Welcome, Sheldon. You do the honors for the rest of the night.
What they say there was is a good thing with having the prize being a scholarship partly, but a lot of young guys who not really like to know people don't go more money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, uncles like to bling the more money. So that scholarship thing, it might sound good. And then you have to bear in mind that writers have to get paid too.
Mm-hmm.
So how we doing that? You understand what I'm saying? Most of them are writers. Many of them are writers. So how we splitting up that scholarship thing when it's time for payment? You get me?
I was saying that too, because sometimes your producer produce a thing, but the stories are winning too. So they wait, and when they get the win, they bust it through the money. It's true. That's something. It is a good idea to go then the money taken away.
One thing is you gotta see what percentage we're gonna call, because going to Berkeley's or any kind of college like music in foreign is a lot of money.
Yeah, well, setting the trend.
It might outweigh the price and all.
Setting the trend is the hallmark. You have to, as an artist, right?
Yeah.
You as an artist have to condition your mind to take part in this competition that is upcoming now for a full scholarship, because you know that for the development of this indigenous culture that we have, we are not making any headway on the international scene. That's why you can attest that huge soca artist has to come back and sing a calypso on a calypso stage. So the soca was out there, the soca was huge out there, and all he was hearing about was soca. Nobody spoke about calypso. Nobody represented calypso in that format, in that area that they were in the limelight. So
yeah, but
everything takes.
Where the calypso went, and it was supposed to be. Calypso is the mother of the music, and it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no love calypso, man. They don't have calypso to give them.
I could add a little all-purpose here, please. Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible?
Yes, man, come in.
Right, good. Zero was on WAC, I think it was Monday night. It made a lot of sense. So when it's time to call in, people afraid to face the opening ball, and I called first. But Gino says something I had been saying for years, umpteen years. Now, I will jump here to jump back. Now, as Warrior had said, with his Mark had said about the scholarship, now these writers war their money. That is one part, yeah? All right, let me jump from that. Two, Sheldon mentioned where the Calypso went. Now, okay, let's go back to the 70s with the Marsh Grant. You're getting some, I'm using big word here. You're getting 60s and 70s. Now, I ran marathon and walking race something. You're getting 5K Calypso, 5K. Beautiful Calypso in the 60s and 70s. And making him master and winning monarch. Now, this time you're getting Calypso. It's a marathon, 26 and a quarter mile. So you see where the Calypso went? The distance, the length. These writers killing Calypso. Calypso is a marathon now. And you see, the soca is 3 minutes and change. So they could get over the topic in about 6 minutes. But no, they're writing marathon, and that is, they're killing the Calypso. I gone.
Looking at the time, and we on the button with the time. So let me just remind the listeners.
It's on tonight. Let's talk Calypso. Join the conversation on www.caribbeanpulse.net with our special guest, George D. Mirage, Calypso historian, author, researcher, and a man who knows about Calypso. Your host would be Matt Morris Edwards, aka Brother Mark. Tune in tonight, Wednesday the 20th of March, 8:15 p.m. on www.caribbeanpulse.net. And let's talk Calypso.
Yes, guys, so we are here. The Coliseum is lit up. Inzi Myers, Francisca, John Ishmael, Mr. Calendar, Sheldon Nugget, and myself, we are here. So, guys, once again, I just want to leave the floor open for your final comments briefly before we shut down tonight's segment. I'm not sure if Mr. Marad has any update that he would like us to be aware of.
Yes, actually, I would like just to make a mention. We cannot leave out Tobago.
Definitely so. Definitely.
So I just want to tell you, first Calypso tent in Tobago was based at the Blue Haven Hotel. The president then was Henry Smith, the president of the Tobago Carnival Committee. The Calypso King competition was won by the singing postman, a guy called Bernie Jack, who also won the road march with All Gone. And then Donkey City was another nightclub, I think, or Calypso tent was on Rising Road near a Holiday Inn now, where Crown Plaza is situated. So I just wanted Tobago to know that we are not leaving you out in the research. And we have a lot of good Calypsonians in Tobago. Happy, Eric Powder, so of course, we had Lady B, and we have a lot of these other people. So, Lady ID, rest assured that when we do the museum, Tobago will be definitely included. And if anybody have information on Tobago, the history of Tobago, please let me know or let us know, and we can share that information. But we have to let Calypso live on forever. We're not going to be here, as someone mentioned, the younger ones. And anybody who said that Calypso dying don't know what they're talking about at all. Just go to the school competition and you'll see over 500 kids singing Calypso. Give them a chance and they would compose Calypso to as well. And I wish sometimes they would change their name to Subke, but you know what? It's up to them. But Calypso is not dying. And
at all.
I don't think I know it's not. I see too many. It needs promoting. it need the 35 or 40 radio stations we have in Trinidad to play at least
Yeah,
60
we
or
need
70%.
global promotion.
Yeah,
Because
right.
if Trinidad people in promoting over here, they have to get it outside and promote it to the world. Then the world love it and they go come back here. And maybe then Trinidad will appreciate it more.
You have to really have all these radio stations, 80% local music. I don't care, local chutney, local gospel, local Indian, all kind of things.
Local.
Make it local, and of course, Calypso. The kids in our country or the youths love Calypso. They love the pan, but they're just not getting exposed to it. When I come to Trinidad and I do my little mini lectures around, I could tell the classroom is always filled because they want to know, and I make them sing Calypso, their own composition or their friend's composition or their uncle or somebody. They want to know, they want to hold on. Wait till they go away like me. You grab on to your culture and you tell everybody proudly, I am from Trinidad and Tobago and Calypso is my culture, pan is my culture. Right? That is, they have to have that sort of thing down there to identify. That's what when they leave Trinidad, I tell you, they're going to see how fast they're going to hold on to their culture and country. And we boast every bit of clothing I have here, red, white, and black. Even my license plate is red, white, and black. Everything. Because, we are a country, we got to be proud of our country, like I am. And the music, I mean, I play Calypso day and night. My grandchildren play mass, play pan. They do everything, and they were born here. My kids were born here, and they do the same thing too. They play a king and queen competition. Up here, mass all the time. I promote what I could do, and our kids in Trinidad love the Calypso. Go to the Calypso Monarch competition, the junior competition, and you'll hear some great Calypsonians. But we need promotion in Trinidad. We need the print media, the radio, TV to keep playing. You know how many good Calypsos? Man, you have Drago who's sitting down there with a bunch of good Calypso, and he could sing vintage too. Well, don't mind, he teach me a vintage Calypso one year. I was going to sing, Drago, Steel Band class. I was going to sing that and you teach it.
My coat clothes in the laundry. I leave in my coat clothes in the laundry. I ain't taking it out.
he sing real good. As I mentioned last week, one of the best maestro Calypsos on the Calypsonian maestro I heard is by Tall Black. And they got the smaller Calypsonians, Monarch, Natural, Squibby, Organizer, Breed. I tell you, these are great Calypsonians, but who know about them? Nobody know about them. And we need to expose these people. Every event that any bank or any big company in Trinidad have, get two Calypsonians to sing. Let the Calypsonians sing some vintage. That's what they want. Let them sing a humor, a vintage, one of their own. And we got to get this museum going, and just to promote the art form. And with that, Brother Mark, I'll pass it on to you until next week. And let me know what we're going to talk about, and I'll be prepared.
Before you leave us, I have something lined up, but I still want to give the guys on the Coliseum a minute to make their final comments quickly.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. What I will say is, skip. Let somebody else.
Your mic muted. Right.
Yeah. So, I'd like to conclude by saying good night. This is a good stage that Brother Mark has set up here, and by extension, Mr. Maharaj, so we can discuss situations, happening now and future, etc., etc. And I'm glad that we have this forum to discuss things. I well, Mr. Barrett really surprised me tonight because I didn't know that he remember how we started. So I must give him kudos for that. So I'll conclude by saying good night to everybody. Until next week. Be safe.
All right, Agu, good night.
Right, I'll come in now. What Brother Maurice had mentioned about the My Show, you all may not know, but My Show has two children with my great granddaughter. So I grew up on My Show as a youth. So the Calypso I wrote, it was just facts. All right, it was just facts because I grew up on the national, all around Steve and side, So I'll say good evening and good night, everyone.
Okay, good night, Doc.
Good night. Mr. Mirage, everybody else, the panel. I was well informed. I always feel well informed because Brother Max said from 1952. I wasn't born as yet, but yet I'm learning. And there's so much I learned since this group started, and I will be on once I am available, I'll be on. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining, man.
I want to say good night to the panel. I also want to say to tell Mr. Marad it's a great honor to be interact with him because people like him is really needed in the Calypso world, and the more he teaches is the more that we would know so that we could pass on this information to the younger ones too. So Mr. Maraj, take a bow.
Yes.
I wanna also thank Brother Mark for his contribution for this forum and for actually letting me be a part of it. Thanks a whole lot, and everybody be safe. Love in the house.
Love in the building. So tonight, guys, as we winding up, I just want to leave you guys with something from Lord Melody, and the year is 1957.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the ever popular Lord Melody, Calypso King of 1954, and still champ, coming to tell you this time that he is the creature from Black Lagoon. Now remember, 55, he was the ugly animal. 56, Mama look a boo-boo day. This time it's more like the truth. The creature from Black Lagoon. Give him a big hand.
I taking a plastic surgery. The people say that I'm ugly. I taking a plastic surgery. The people say that I'm ugly. Oh Lord, I send me child by the neighbor last Sunday to get some butter. I find the child was staying too long. The neighbor cross-questioned the child upside the down. Boy, how your father ugly so? Me boy child just tell them no. Yesterday he passed by we, and your father really ugly. When I go home, I'm going to tell me mommy. All you say me daddy ugly. The creature from the Black Lagoon is your father. No, I go tell me mama. The creature from the Black Lagoon is your father. I think I go lose my temper. They go charge me for manslaughter because this thing getting chronic. Especially my neighbor Monkey Eric and his children think I'm a coolie. Only pelting missiles behind me when they meet me son is a different thing. They will flock around him and start to sing, boy, how your father ugly so. Me boy child just tell them no. Yesterday he passed by we, and your father really ugly. When I go home, I'm going to tell me mommy. All you say me daddy ugly. The creature from the Black Lagoon is your father. No, I go tell me mama. The creature from the Black Lagoon is your father.
So guys, I just want to remind you that you are logged on to www.caribbeanpulse.net. Yes,
I always discuss my beauty, and I know I'm not so ugly. The audacity in my sister calling me a hideous creature. You know the neighbor was there, so she started laughing. I nearly killed the girl in the kitchen. She scrambled my son from behind the head. I nearly killed me poor boy child dead. Singing you're ugly just like your father Mel. My son tell her go to hell. My father have a good voice, and he is my mother's choice. And if he ugly is my father already. I can't help, believe me, I am definitely sorry if the creature from the Black Lagoon is your father. No, I go tell me mama the creature from the Black Lagoon is.
Yes, guys, and we are located in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, I want to thank the guys on the Calypso, those of you who are here, home and abroad, Tobago, Caribbean, the US of A, Canada, wherever you are, especially Mr. Maraj community up there in Toronto. Thank you guys for logging on. Remember, you can go on our other social platform, Facebook, and look at the reruns. Get your mindset in order, because what we fill our mind with forms our characteristics. Again, I am yours truly, Mark Morris, on this side of the neck of the woods. Saying a good night, and God bless you guys for sharing and for helping us to go viral. Remember, our intention is to establish the first ever Calypso museum that will be constructed in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, of course. So we're looking forward for your love and your support in moving forward. John Williams, good night, guys.
Long live Calypso.
Long live Calypso, man.
Yes, man. Good night, everyone.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dr. Maraj.
Music jamming hard in the party.
It's on tonight. Let's talk Calypso. Join the conversation on www.caribbeanpulse.net with our special guest, George D. Mirage, Calypso historian, author, researcher, and a man who knows about Calypso. Your host would be Mac Morris Edwards, aka Brother Mark. Tune in tonight, Wednesday the 20th of March, 8:15 p.m. on www.caribbeanpulse.net. And let's talk Calypso!
Yes, guys, remember, it's each and every Wednesday from 8:15 p.m. right here on www.caribbeanpulse.net. Join us for Let's Talk Calypso with the Right Honorable Dr. George Maraj. And we just remind you to stay tuned for the rest of tonight's broadcast. Remember, we stream in 24/0 right here, playing to you Calypso music from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. God bless you guys.
Would you like to rock it with me, baby? Would you like to jump it with me, honey?